Hi, and welcome back to Scratch. Today, we're going to make a chicken lasagna. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and share this recipe. The main ingredients for this recipe will be 9 lasagna noodles, a large chicken breast, and 2 tablespoons of oil. For the vegetable cream sauce, we'll need 2 cups of chicken broth, 1 cup of heavy cream, a cup of shredded Parmesan, 2/3 cups of corn kernels from 1 medium ear of corn or 2 half ears, 2/3 cups of frozen peas and carrots, 2/3 cups of spinach leaves, a 1/4 cup of flour, a 1/4 cup of butter, a tablespoon of minced garlic, a teaspoon of pepper, a half teaspoon of salt, and an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. For our cheese layer, we'll need 1 egg, 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, a 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan, and 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. For our breadcrumb topping, we'll need 3 tablespoons of melted butter, a cup of panko breadcrumbs, and 2 teaspoons of sriracha sauce. We'll also need additional salt for boiling, as well as some cooking spray. We'll start by filling a large pot with water and generously salting it. We'll place our salted water on the stovetop over high heat and allow it to come to a rolling boil. Once our water comes to a boil, we'll reduce heat to medium-high, add our lasagna noodles, and boil them for 8 minutes before draining them in the sink and rinsing them in cool water. They will continue to cook when baking in the oven. Then, we'll return our pot to the stovetop and heat our 2 tablespoons of oil over medium-high heat. Once heated, we'll add our large chicken breast and allow it to cook for 8 minutes per side. Once fully cooked, we'll set our chicken breast aside to cool. While our chicken is cooling, we'll rinse out our pot and reduce heat to medium before melting a 1/4 cup of our butter and stirring in a 1/4 cup of our flour. We'll stir constantly and allow it to cook about 2 or 3 minutes until we have a blonde roux. Then we'll add in our 2 cups of chicken broth, cup of heavy cream, and cup of shredded Parmesan, and mix in our tablespoon of minced garlic, teaspoon of pepper, half teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. We'll allow this to cook, stirring occasionally until it thickens up, about 15 minutes. While we're cooking our sauce, we'll roughly chop our 2/3 cups of spinach leaves, and if using corn on the cob, cut the kernels from the cob. This step is easier if the corn is pre-cooked. If using canned or frozen corn kernels, you can skip this step. After our sauce is thickened, we'll stir in our chopped spinach leaves, 2/3 cups of corn kernels, and 2/3 cups of frozen peas and carrots into our cream sauce, and remove it from the heat. Then we'll cut our chicken into approximately 1/2 inch to 1 inch cubes. After we've cut the chicken, we'll prepare our cheese mixture. We'll whisk 1 egg until scrambled, and then mix in our 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, 2 cups of shredded mozzarella, and remaining 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan until well combined. Then we'll preheat our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven's preheating, we'll spray an 8 by 11 inch casserole dish with cooking spray. Then we'll spread about a 1/2 cup of our vegetable cream sauce in the bottom of our dish. We'll cover this with 3 noodles and spread half of our cheese mixture over our noodles, followed by a sprinkling of half of our cubed chicken over the cheese layer. We'll then cover the chicken with 1/3 of our remaining sauce. We'll repeat this with the layer of noodles, the remainder of our cheese mixture, and the rest of our cubed chicken, and another 1/3 of our vegetable cream sauce, before finishing with 3 more noodles and covering those with our remaining vegetable cream sauce. We'll cover it in foil and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. While our lasagna is in the oven, we'll make our breadcrumb topping. We'll melt our remaining 3 tablespoons of butter on the stovetop or in the microwave in quick 10 to 20 second bursts. Once our butter is melted, we'll whisk in our 2 teaspoons of sriracha sauce with a fork. Then we'll stir in our 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs and allow them to soak in our butter sriracha mixture for about 20 to 30 minutes. After the first 30 minutes, we'll remove our lasagna from the oven, remove the foil, and sprinkle our breadcrumb topping over the top. We'll then return our lasagna to the oven and allow it to bake for an additional 15 minutes. After an additional 15 minutes, we'll remove it from the oven and allow it to rest for 15 to 20 minutes before serving. And remember, if you like the content, please subscribe.